Alright guys, Tactical here back again today. Hope you're all enjoying your Tuesday. Today I wanted to talk about the Atlanta home series which is coming up this weekend. I've been informed by Nick that it is in fact the home series, not the home stand. I think the home stand is like the Overwatch official terminology, so it's going to be called the home series. That's what I'm going to be calling it going forwards for all of the events around the world. Some interesting things to talk about, some issues that we could have with the upcoming event. I did talk about that in yesterday's video, but I want to reiterate it as we have a little bit more clarification today, and also some potential team situations going on. Wanted to talk about the Los Angeles Guerrillas and exactly what's going on with ACHES and Ricky in some of their scrims. Like, if you guys enjoy, subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. First of all, the 1K has been going on around the world this past weekend, and Pharaoh and his team win it. So Mac, Vivid, Hollow, and Dylan Sells end up taking that one home. This is what it looked like throughout the rest of the team. So the FaZe Academy, a notable team here, Journey, Gravity, Jimbo, Sabalont, I guess I'm meant to be pronouncing that, and Spark, UYU not having as good a results nowadays as they were at the start of the season. Moving swiftly on though in the European scene, we have Sukri of Trainhard, formerly of course of Heretics in the last season. He's going to be a free agent looking for another team. Like, Trainhard were considered probably the second, third best team in the whole of Europe. So really interesting Sukri decides to leave that squad. Who knows exactly where he's going to be going? Obviously plenty of pro points behind him. Let's go into this then for the next couple of minutes. So Crimsix talks about, we mentioned this tweet yesterday towards the latter half, have they said when they're going to fix the cross-play lobby glitch? And Cynical explains this to me in some great detail, because supposedly what Crim is talking about here is this could have some real impacts on the event this weekend, how it's really difficult for PC and console players to join at the same time. And in addition, as Brian Saint says, LAN lobbies apparently don't even work at all right now. So supposedly, I imagine the professionals and the community more generally is trying to press this as fast as possible through to Infinity Ward to get a fix that's coming out for this upcoming weekend, because that's the thing, when you have so many weekends on the bounce, you have a patch which kind of breaks the game, as the Season 2 launch did. We've got some real issues on our hands here, and just a few days to get things fixed. I think Thursday typically is the day where Infinity Ward will release like hot fixes and stuff like that. So I imagine if something's going to be fixed, that's when it will be, and hopefully it won't break something else with the game, of course. But Cynical points it out to me like this. So with the crossplay issues, anyone on a different platform than the host needs to join the lobby before the players on the same platform. If the players on the same platform join before all the players on the different platforms can get in, it causes those players to be unable to connect to the host and gives a platypus error for some reason. They also need to restart the lobby after every game, it seems, as the players will get intermission and they will be placed on auto-assign, but on those players' screens, they are still on the team they were on in the previous game. If the game starts, the people on the different platform than the host are 1, risks to be on a different team, and 2, won't spawn until about 10 seconds into the match. Apparently you can't start a LAN game either when it is like this. Really bad news for Atlanta. So very great thanks for putting this in such a simple to understand form. But supposedly PC console, as it's commentated over and this kind of stuff via PC, it causes issues already, and then you've got issues about having to restart the game. Like, this is just an absolute classic situation that we have in Call of Duty, when we've got a really good situation in terms of they reduce the S&D round timer down to 130. Some people saying that might not be so good after all, which is definitely fair enough, but they did reduce the domination time limit as well for 6 minutes down to 5 minutes, which personally I think is a pretty damn good change. They make those couple of positive changes, and now potentially you have to restart the lobby after every single game to get to a point where you can actually play the game on a reasonable timescale. None of this is ideal. We'll have to see how this develops in the coming days before the Atlanta home series this weekend, because there's some big name teams here. This is probably the most exciting weekend we've had in terms of big competition and big rivalries. And if this gets thrown off because of something like this, it's not going to be an ideal situation by any means. I'd be intrigued to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. This I thought was kind of funny as well. BT says we're just onliners. Not sure who he was referring to, potentially referring to Formal, talking about how Atlanta are onliners. So I just wanted to talk about this storyline in advance of the upcoming weekend. He loves my attention. Scum says, he got tight, and Colton says, love this drama. Hopefully this weekend is going to be a fantastic one. Let's move onwards here then. So, some more Atlanta FaZe stuff. FaZe Apparel say here on there, I'm guessing this is Insta, home series, Banks, Apex, Temper, I don't know all of these FaZe players, I know most of them. Scissors, of course, Pamaj, Nick Merks, but also Little Yachty will be there, and Offset as well. So honestly, FaZe have been making moves over the last couple of years. They've definitely got a questionable reputation in terms of some of the stuff that, the Tfue situation and all of that. But at the same time, they don't really seem to have taken a massive hit from it. A lot of people were expecting California Commission, given that there was all this drama around FaZe. Is Tfue technically an employee? Are FaZe acting as a talent agency? In which case, they didn't actually have a talent license in California, which you need to have. So a lot of people are thinking, well, maybe they're going to get kicked out of California. The government doesn't seem to care about too much of this stuff. Well, we'll just have to see how it goes. Doesn't seem to have developed that far. They obviously got the league spot. And now they've got some real top tier connections here in terms of the whole lifestyle brand that they are trying to profess. So really cool stuff. If you guys are attending, then it should be a really, really great time, I would imagine. So this is a tweet here, thanks to Ben for pointing this out to me. Slacked tweets this out, hashtag bring back Pat. Now, when I first saw this, I thought it was super sarcastic, and I still think it is to a certain degree, but it still is very intriguing exactly what's going on here. So first of all, we have official confirmation, as you can see on screen. Well, not official, of course, but this is this Seattle team that we are going to be seeing. I'm not even sure if they're actually playing this weekend. I'll have to bring up the schedule. But Octane, Slacked, Apathy, Panda, and Karma is going to be the squad. And right here, they were scrimming against the Los Angeles Guerrillas. So Octane, Slacked, etc. Obviously, we're seeing some pretty good kills here. Octane's on 38, Panda on 26 on this one, but some pretty exciting stuff. On the side of the Los Angeles Guerrillas, of course, things not going quite as well to plan. We've got Saints here at 34 kills, Dashy at, this is the deaths as well, so 34 and 31, 29 and 27, 28 and 36 for Aqua, 24 and 36 for Lacefield, and then we've got Ricky down here at 9 and 34. Now, this is very intriguing. Why isn't ACHES playing on the team? Does this mean he's been dropped off the team? But in that case, why would Ricky be the player to be joining the squad instead? They have two substitutes, as we'll look at right now. This is what it looks like on the side of the Los Angeles Guerrillas. ACHES, Aqua, Decimate, Saints and Lacefield, of course, is the starting five, with Blast and Ricky on the substitute bench. But Ricky also doubles up as assistant coach, with Bevels being head coach right now. They've got an analyst, they've got a director of content strategy, all of this good stuff over there at the organisation. But if you were going to make a change and you decided that ACHES was the man you wanted to get rid of from the team, which already is a questionable decision, right? Like, ACHES is, historically, he's always going to be better on a LAN environment than he is online, regardless. And maybe one of the reasons that Formal's going to talk about in just a second here is one of the reasons why he doesn't tend to be so good online or on LAN nowadays. It's because he decides not to play against some of the teams. So we'll have a look at that exactly in a second here. But look, if you were going to get rid of ACHES, and a lot of you might say that that's a fair decision, that's something that has to happen over time. At least, I guess you could say it's inevitable, right? Which, okay, it's fair enough. At the same time, I would be very wary of that. Like, ACHES has this certain aura around him and a certain power that, yes, he might not always put up the best stat lines, but he does, on a good day and on a good run, he can really do something special. At the end of the day, this team is going to be at the bottom half of the spectrum. Then again, which player do you put instead of him? You need an IGL on a team with Saints, Aqua, Desi and Lacefield. Who are you going to put instead of ACHES that's really going to put up better numbers? Kind of difficult to find someone like that also has the championships and all the prestige that ACHES has behind him. So first of all, that's maybe not even the change that I'm looking to make if I am looking to change up that team. It's probably a different situation to OpTic Gaming, where if JCap continues to underperform, it's pretty obvious that JCap probably has to be the guy to go from that team, because you've already got Slasher in place as kind of that in-game leader type figure. Los Angeles Guerrillas, you don't really have that. So the question is, if you're going to get rid of ACHES, why would you do it for Ricky? And so that's what I don't reckon this has happened. My personal opinion is ACHES is still playing in the team, but the question is he playing on Ricky's account just for an unknown reason, or is he in fact not playing this scrim and Ricky is playing instead for also an unknown reason? Let's dive into this a little bit more here. So we have this. I'll leave this clip linked down in the pinned comment below. But Formal said in the clip, it's not particularly expansive. This is pretty much all he says. Apparently, Pat only plays against real teams or something. Ricky also filled in against the B team Toronto. So we know Toronto, they've got 10 players in the team. They've got the starting lineup. I think Bance is probably still in that starting lineup. Then they've got the secondary lineup with like Kleenex, Brack, the guys that Phantoms, the guys that didn't quite make it in right now to the starting lineup. And of course, they're scrimming against other teams just to get some practice, and so are other teams scrimming against them in certain game modes. Now, this is really intriguing. Lol, ACHES should be playing. He needs all the practice he can get. Now, it's tough to say whether this is true. Just the way Formal said it almost implied that he thought it was kind of true. He wasn't exactly laughing while he said it, but, Karma says, don't think that's true at all. Just going to take a wild guess here and agree with Karma. But also, as Charles B says, maybe ACHES was using Ricky's account anyway. Ricky was definitely in the lobby, as we just looked at in that screenshot here. he might have used Ricky's account and got smoked like so often. That's what I thought. If they were going to use a sub, it would be Blaz from Crone at CDL Intel. ACHES is so much better on LAN regardless. So yeah, some really interesting stuff here. What is your guys' perception of this? I'll be intrigued to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you were going to make a change to Los Angeles Guerrillas, would it be this one? And by that I mean, would ACHES be the first man you decide to get out the door? I guess it's somewhat difficult to say otherwise, but I really do feel like a team like Los Angeles Guerrillas do need some cohesion and some sort of in-game leader type figure, and honestly they haven't had too bad results over the first couple of events. And Ricky down here in the bottom right saying don't start 1 second, if you guys can just about see that. Turns out that LAG are not attending this weekend, so pretty interesting to be honest. These are the teams that are attending. We've got the Minnesota Rocket, Paris Legion, Royal Ravens, Mutineers, Chicago Huntsmen, Toronto Ultra, Atlanta FaZe, and OpTic Gaming Los Angeles. So some spicy stuff. I believe the next time Los Angeles will be playing is in the Los Angeles home series themselves on March 7th to the 8th in just a couple of weeks' time. If they are going to make a change, I guess that's the 2 weeks you get for practice. We've seen Seattle do it after some underwhelming performances in the first couple of events. Is that a change you consider? Is it potentially ACHES, you know, they've decided that ACHES are not a great fit for the team. He's going to step to the sidelines and Ricky was just filling in for a scrim while Blaz couldn't make it because, look, it's to me, it's out of the question that Ricky would be the man to come in instead of Blaz. But then again, as I say, from an in-game leadership kind of standpoint, I guess you do need a figure like that. Is Ricky that guy over ACHES? I can't see the upside to that at all. So whether ACHES was just using his account or something, I don't really think there's much going on here to look into deeply. But it's still an interesting thing to consider. And the fact that Form was saying that maybe he doesn't even scrim against certain teams, it's Ricky instead. Why would he use Ricky's account instead of his own account? I don't particularly see the benefit of that unless he's like staying with him or something, or unless he's just trying to throw us off as a community, which is also a possibility as well. Intrigued to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. Just before we finish off then, wanted to go through this from Thomas Hanley, that is Mooseman. A guy who's been around the European scene for a very long time, been in the league, was on a Vitality team, I think, that tried to get back into the league in the World War II season, but he's been a pretty popular player, and throughout his career he's had his moments where he's really been a dominant force. It's kind of sad to see how some of these guys who are really at the top of their game just a few years ago are now struggling to have great results in the amateur bracket. I think he was on Team War, and of course, as I talked about at the start of the video, with Sucree, roster changes happening, potential, you know, Team War might change around, and some of these guys that have been around the community for a very long time and have been really popular players throughout the career if you know, fall to the sidelines and don't get an opportunity any longer. And unfortunately, at some point, a career has to come to an end. Despite maybe being a very talented player a few years ago, when things don't exactly go your way, things go downhill very quickly. And we saw that really in the Black Ops 4 season, the Pro League qualifier, when the Lightning Pandas team, Lightning Pandas as an organisation, and also MattG, of course, as a player, and some of the other guys that were on that team, that was their chance to qualify. They came top 6, just missed out on top 4. Then to the next event, or they came top 6 at the first event in Vegas. They missed out of the Pro League qualifier, and since then the careers have been on a downward trajectory when it could have been a very different story. So really interested to see how history could have been different, but it seems like Mooseman may be stepping aside, and well, we'll just have to see how things develop going forwards. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you're new as always. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.